This is LionPokerTV.
Hello, and welcome to LionPokerTV. I'm Trey, and once again I will be your host for this episode. We'll be focusing on recapping what happened at match 7.02. It was another fantastic night for Cody Donchez, as the hook took down Kimbo and the rest of the field once again for his second straight victory. We'll also be introducing a segment called Player Profiles, in which we highlight members of Lion Poker Club.
The spotlight for this program will concentrate on Kim Dawson. Kim is off to a flying start this season after having struggled most of last season. Why the hot start for Season 7? That, and her love for Steve, her husband, and for the club itself, in this episode of Player Spotlight.
Welcome to our first installment of the Player Spotlight. I'm here with Kimbo Dawson, and Kim, you are off and running this season. Care to talk about your fast start?
I'm just playing how I normally play, and it's working out.
There's only one player who's actually been performing at a higher level than yourself. That has to feel pretty good, that there's only one player who's been playing just a little bit better than yourself so far.
Well, Cody is an aggressive player, and anybody that knows me is not my how I play. I'm not aggressive, and I was starting out the last game playing more hands than I normally would, and I just had to talk to myself and say, slow it down, play the hands you're supposed to play, and, so coming up and being heads up with Cody, I wasn't surprised. It's just, it's a waiting game.
To be fair, both times that you've gotten heads up with Cody, he's had an enormous chip stack, in large part because he's been on the attack and he's knocked a lot of players out. Last match, he knocked 8 players out before he got to you. It puts you in a little bit of a hole. Mm-hmm. Do you feel defeated before the heads up even starts?
No, because I'm happy with the fact that I even got to second place. I'm grateful that I'm still standing after another person gets knocked out.
So a game starts, your first goal is to get to the final table, or are you literally taking it bust out by bust out?
Bust out by bust out.
What do you think then gives you an edge over another player? How do you feel you use your attributes to beat other players?
I just play hand by hand. When the game starts, the game starts. And I just take it hand by hand. And I just play the hands I think I'm meant to play. I tend to not take risks. I mean, I took a risk this past week, and it bit me in the butt. I got beat.
Things weren't always fun for you towards the end of last season. You had a difficult season. Not to get into any details about it, but to come off of what you would probably call a disappointing season and to start so strong this season, was it just, hey, thank God for that summer break, it's a fresh new start? Did you have to kind of motivate yourself to come back and play this season?
I felt, due to personal circumstances and the poker, I needed to step away. And sometimes you need to step away from something and come back, and you just feel a whole lot better about it. So when it was time to get this season started, I was excited to come back and to start it over again.
Let's go back again to the end of last season and reflect upon the fact that your husband won the title for the very first time, and deservedly so. He's captured just about every possible thing you can in this club without actually winning it. He finally won it. You did come back to the den to watch it. What were your feelings that night, and how did you feel inside when Steve finally won?
I was very proud of him, and he knows I'm proud of him regardless if he wins that game or not. It was a long time coming, and he wanted that win. He wanted it bad. So when that last hand came out and he stood up and
yelped.
yeah, and yelped.
There was a sound. We have it on video.
Yeah, he doesn't make sounds like that often. So it was good for him. I think he needed that.
I think we have two solid human beings that joined the club this year. Just your quick overall thought about Bob, since you probably haven't had a chance to get to know Kyle too well yet, but you have played with Bob at PJ's, and now he's finally in the den. We finally got him in here. Just some quick thoughts about Bob.
I wanted Bob here as well. I mean, I love his personality, and I know I had said to him in the past about coming to play here. I think he's a great addition. He fits in. His personality is among everybody's here, joking, getting along. As far as his playing style, I'm pretty sure he's a more aggressive type person than I am. Heck, probably everybody's more aggressive than I am. But I think he's a wonderful addition, and I'm glad he finally came on board.
Let's have a little fun here as we wrap this up. I'm going to say a word, possibly a name, possibly a phrase, and I want you to just give your first immediate reaction. It can be a word, it can be a phrase, it doesn't matter, but I want your instant reaction.
Okay.
Okay?
Scott Green. He was the winner of the last year. Drunken people. Guy who doesn't remember talking to me when he was drunk. X. Ack is somebody we've known for years. Starting with going to PJ's at the Walbert. He's a wonderful guy. Thank God for her, or aunties would be fucked up.
I agree with that. She should really just be the tournament director and be the automatic dealer all the time. She keeps us straight, I'll tell you what.
I'm glad it came to be.
Okay, thank you very much. And now we're going to look at the overall standings, starting with the 66. In first place for the second straight week, after his second straight victory, is Cody the Hook Donchez. He has 59.5 points after 2 matches, 13 hits total, 9 coming in the last match. Kimbo has finished runner-up to Cody both matches thus far in the season. It's good enough for second place with 35.5 points. Dropping back a spot into third would be Trey. He has 28 points. Caps does the same, falling from third to fourth. He has 18 points. Moving up the ranks, 5 spots from 10 to 5, is rookie Bob Doherty. Bob has 17 points and has his first 66 spot. And rounding it out is Susan in 6th place, going from 11th to 6th. Okay, and now we're breaking down the wildcard spots. Falling 2 places back into the wildcard spot for possibly the very first time ever is Stephen Booger Dawson. Steve has 13 points. Off to a slow start by his standards. Climbing from 12th to 8th place is the Boar, Markian. He has 12 points after a 4th place showing in match 2. Guy has fallen back into the wild card this week. He has 8 points. In 10th behind him is Josh, also falling back 3 points. He has 6. Dr. Teeth picked up his first points of the season, however, he did not make up any ground. In fact, he has fallen back 2 spots into 11th place, sitting on 6 points. And rounding out the wild card is Nana Bailey. Nana has yet to pick up any points this season. However, she has finished on the bubble for points twice thus far, earning that 12th place spot. It's very early. These will change undoubtedly, and you can be sure not to see these same faces here for very long. Or maybe you will. And now let's look at the elimination zone. This is typically where the going has been going tough, which has been the case for the 4 gentlemen you see here. Alec made his first final table of the season last match. However, he sits in 13th place due to time played. Greg has gotten off to one of his slowest starts ever. He's been knocked out early in both matches and is unfortunately in 14th place. The rookie Kyle Ham is in 15th place after 1 match, and there he is, Dominic Cardine, his first match in the books. However, he garnered no points, so he comes in 16th. Thank you, Hamish. Well, now you have the scoop. Cody is out in front of everybody once again for back-to-back seasons. There's a lot of time to catch up. Maybe some of us need to do a little bit more of this. Who knows? Either way, there's a long season to go. So tune in next time as we bring you another fantastic episode, which we spotlight another member of the club, and we start to dissect a little bit about what makes the poker scene tick here in the Lehigh Valley. Until then, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.